MMAOddsBreaker Frank Trigg. Of course, we're talking to Max Holloway right now, getting ready to fight Masad. Bet chick coming up here on UFC Fight Night. Max, I was just in Hawaii. We had that horrible tropical storm, which turned into a tropical depression. We had that Type 1 hurricane came blowing through. How many days of practice did you actually miss because of how bad the storms were?
Luckily, we didn't miss no practices. The storm didn't hit Oahu too bad. Big Island, I heard, got hit hard, but Oahu was pretty good. We were playing it by ear, and we actually got in all the practices that I had to do.
I stayed down on Eva Beach for a little while when I was there. And then I taught over at MMA headquarters, so I got to see Yancey and Russell Doan, and some of the other guys came through, like some of the other UFC guys that came through. And I was trying to get up to Gracie Tektronix to come and hang out with you, and the scheduling just never worked out right. It just doesn't seem that when you're in training camp, I can get by the gym. But when you're not in training camp and you're screwing around, I can get by all the time. It's just like how the schedule works out. How is it over there right now training? I know I talk to Tiff all the time, and she kind of keeps me up to date on what's going on. But remember, that's one of the managers, one of the owners, like saying, "Oh, Max is great." But how is Max doing in practice? And do you feel like you're getting enough workout partners, enough bodies to beat up on when you're in there?
It's great, man. We got a great team. We got I trained we got 5 of us in the gym, 5 UFC fighters. So it's great, and we got a little Hawaii thing going, and and it's just awesome. We got a good team. We're all about positivity, and it's just fun to have. And you don't really see, a lot of my teammates is full-time fighters, so you don't see it in Hawaii very often. So we got something unique going down at Gracie Techniques, Hawaii MMA, and Legacy over at Gracie Techniques.
That is one of the weird things. Like a lot of the better Hawaiian fighters went off island. They all came over to the mainland specifically because they wanted to be able to afford to only fight. So they had to leave Oahu specifically because it's so expensive to live, in Honolulu, Waikiki. It's so pricey to live over there, and then be able to do nothing else but fight full time. All the guys I'm hanging out with, Wolf and Colin and all those guys, all have full-time jobs, plus they train or they run a gym. And there's just no way to kind of keep it together. But you guys over there at Gracie Tech, you find a way to kind of keep it together while only being full-time fighters. Is there a secret that you guys have over there? Is there something going on? Do you have some kind of special sponsor that helps you guys out? Or do you have a cheaper housing you're finding that nobody else is finding? Like, I don't understand how you guys are able to do it. To have all those great guys be just...
I don't know, man. I just think that age is on our side. I guess, I have no idea how we do it. I can just say we're blessed. We got the opportunities, and personally, I don't have no ticket sponsor. I wish I did. I love it, but I don't have it, and it's just, I don't know, it's just something that happened and something that just fell on our lap. So it's just great to have other trainer partners as full-time fighters too, so we all can just feed off each other's energy, be positive, and just work towards the same goal. And we all want to get that UFC gold one day.
Yeah, because you and I talked shortly before you fought Conor McGregor, and then sort of right after that fight, I was like, look, Max, I kept telling everybody, and it's not my place to come to you directly and go, look, you got to move. But there's a time where I was like, you got to get off island. You're getting too big, too good for Gracie. You're getting too much that they just don't have enough there to kind of beat you up and give you that push every day. And then I was like, you need to kind of find a spot, of course. And I'd want you to come to Extreme Couture's here in Las Vegas and train with us because I'm egotistical like that. I think everyone should train with me. And that was kind of the process I was going through. And then you go out and you put a smash down on Will Chop. And then Andre Phil, you put a beating on them too. And it's like all of a sudden I was like, well, maybe Max has found something. And then I kind of talked about you to other people. And you kind of got to a place where you kind of found a good rhythm, a good pattern. You found the guys that were going to beat you up when you need to be beat up. But you also found the guys that you could beat up when you need to get some good licks in. And there's athletes, some days you've got to get your licks in. You've got to be able to go in there and crush somebody. Otherwise, you can't get any better. You kind of found that. Was that something that just happened because you did that yourself and found those competitors? Or is it something that the team put together? They said, look, today, we got to put this guy with Max. You got to put this guy with Max. Like, how'd that process come about?
You know, we just, we recently we merged with Hawaii Elite MMA, CKJ Striking, and he bring a lot of guys over. He's the one that bring over Doan and Lewis, and we got some top Yancy come cross train. We got some top pros and amateurs in the gym, and it's exactly like you said. And we go out there, we train, and we got no egos. When you walk through those doors at Gracie's, you leave your ego at the door, and some days you're the hammer, and some days you're the nail, and no one gets mad at each other for that. A lot of gyms I see sometimes, like, people getting mad that they're getting beaten up, and they show a hissy fit, and they bring the whole feeling of the gym down, And it's not like that at Gracie, we all understand some days you're gonna get beaten up, and some days you're gonna do beating up. So it is what it is, and we just got a great group of guys. That's all I can say, and we're just trying to work we all got the same goal, and we're not stopping until we get there.
And that the same thing that happened to me when I met you happened to me when I met Doan, and when I finally got to some time with Yancey this last week. That what you see how these guys fight, and you watch these guys fight, and you expect a certain attitude, a certain arrogance when you go to meet them, and all of a sudden they were like they had no problems asking me questions. They had no problem saying, "Hey, what about this? When I do this thing, what do I do in this position?" They had no problem trying to learn something from me. Where a lot of guys that have that kind of ego that you think they have, when you see them fight, that they won't ask these questions. But then those guys, just like you, had no ego, didn't care. Like, what can you teach me? What can I absorb? And when I went to Basic Techniques, it's the same way. Like, everybody in there wanted to show me something, but they also wanted to ask me questions about my experience in this particular position with this particular problem. Are your practices still the same way? Do you guys still do that same kind of mentality? Was like this thought process and this exchange of mentalities and positions when you start practice?
Yeah, we always try to help each other. It's MMA is an evolving sport. If you watch MMA 5 years ago to what it is now, it's totally different. And people are changing the game, and that's what we do. Whenever I got a question, I'll ask my teammates. I'll ask Dustin Kimura. I'll ask Yancey. I'll ask Russell. And then the same thing goes for them. When they got questions, they ask me, or even if they don't ask me, and if I see them doing something, I'll tell them. And if they see me doing something, they'll tell me. And and that's how we kind of keep it moving. Iron sharpens iron, and we ain't trying to stay the same. You got to get better every fight, and you either get better or you get left behind. That's the two choices you have in this sport, and I ain't about to get left behind.
Well, that's Max Holloway getting ready to fight Mashad Betta coming up here in UFC Fight Night in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Let's break down Mashad real quick. How do you see him as a competitor? He's 8-0. You're 9-3. You've obviously had a couple more fights than he has, but the quality competition is going to be the real factor here. What do you see? How do you see him as a competitor?
Tough dude. I did an interview there with UFC, and they told me where he's from. The country he's from is super war-stricken or something crazy, and he's a tough dude. Mentally, I think he's tough. That he's gonna come and fight and bring the fight to me. So I'm excited for this fight, and hopefully we both can walk away with 50K, and hopefully one of us can walk away with 100K. That'd be awesome.
That is really the process that everyone's trying to get into is getting through that fight of the night bonus. And we've seen a couple of guys, as of late, get that fight of the night bonus and then lose because of performance-enhancing drugs. And it's just happened recently off the doubling card. The guy that won, he lost the fight, but he wins the fight of the night bonus, and then he gets the bonus and all his money taken away from him, and gets his contract revoked from the UFC because he fails the drug test.
Yeah.
How hard has it been for you personally as a competitor to find workout partners that don't use performance-enhancing drugs when you're trying to stay clean yourself and you're trying to stay above board with everything?
Not hard at all. I don't know. I guess it's a Hawaii thing. Like, none of us want to be cheaters. I don't know. This sport, you can literally kill someone in this sport. You really can, and it's sad. It's like, why are you trying to use this performance-enhancing drug? Go get your ass out and go train like how you're supposed to. You don't need that shit. And if your body don't allow you to do it, then don't do it. It really is that simple. You want to get better, you go out there, you put in the time. People that find a shortcut, they might They might win here or there, and then look at that. They get everything taken away from them. So, it's easy and hard. None of my teammates, I don't want to be cheaters. We all tease or say stuff about stuff like that. So, it is what it is, and I never ever want to do that or anything. You can really hurt someone in the sport, and that's the thing that blows my mind. You really can end someone's career if you take that kind of stuff, and it's not fair.
Max, I appreciate you coming on here. It was a great interview once again, as always, man. Good luck, and I can't wait to talk to you after this fight's over.
Yeah, thank you, man.